Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this replay, this 2v2 replay with me and Ascension here on Twilight Fortress. Now switching it and gonna go ahead and add a reactor to my starport, wanting to get more medevacs, wanting to get more Vikings, and also producing more barracks as well. So now I'm running off of 2 factories, and we'll be running off of 3 barracks as soon as I get those tech labs down. So more tech labs being placed down to try to macro up a very, very large Marauder army. You can see Reticulin sitting at a 3425, just getting most likely funneled a lot of minerals from NATkims here, running off of what is this, 10 gateways, and those 10 gateways still able to produce a lot. Sitting on 1500 minerals, he can probably produce 10 stalkers in the blink of an eye. So let's see when he's gonna do that. Not quite sure why he's just sitting on so many minerals. Come on, spend it. Nope, there we go. Gonna go ahead and try to spend. Gonna go ahead and spend it there. So getting a quick 10 stalkers. And now, as that's all winding down on its cooldown, he should be able to continue to macro up a fairly large army if Reticulin or NATkims continues to funnel him more and more minerals. So you can just see more stalkers now moving out. Siege tanks sitting over here, as this army of stalkers just moving on in. Almost 4 control rows of stalkers, almost 5. Control rows of stalkers, and now those stalkers do in fact have blink, so they will be able to blink on up and be able to move out fairly easily. Banshee quickly coming in, destroying that last probe, offering sight on that Zelnaga watchtower, wanting to make sure that I do not run head on into this army of stalkers, which may be able to focus and take down a lot of my units. Back over here, still macroing up a fairly decent sized army, but still Reticulin sitting at a 5675 army, just mass stalkers. Almost, is that 3? Yeah, it's almost 6 full control rows of stalkers, continuing the scanner sweep, trying to move out, trying to put a lot of pressure. Trying to put a lot of pressure. Siege tanks now continue to move on in, and this group of stalkers now circumventing, instead of walking straight along this path down the center, will be able to move along back over here. There is one observer sitting up there as well, as these units continue to move on out. Immortals, siege tanks in position, and we're going to have this great epic battle. Even though NATkims does not have any extra SCVs, the army size is about the same, 7,000 versus 8,000, so this is going to be a fairly difficult fight. And now a scanner sweep blink into the high ground, and all of these stalkers are fighting against the rest of these marauders here, and Reticulin does not have any weapons upgrade, either does Ascension, so both sides dealing heavy damage. Stalker now coming in, trying to start blasting away with that concussive Punisher grenade, doing 22 damage per attack. More marauders coming in, but the rest of those stalkers are going to be able to finish this off, and was not keeping track of the lower hit point units. Banshee now coming in as well, and now those Banshees blinking away as the rest of that is being pushed on in. But now in comes the counterattack. Siege tanks moving on in, just dealing damage towards this fort, trying to destroy this front wall. A quick blink comes in, but those siege tanks did not blink within that 0 distance. So all of these stalkers are just getting taken down so quickly by all of these siege tanks. Siege tanks dishing out those shells of damage, dealing the Crucio assault cannons 50 damage per attack, and now siege tanks continue to move on in with that extended range. You can see those siege tanks just blasting these line of stalkers so easily as those medevacs now continue to move on in. Reticulin finally getting a blink within that 0 distance, but these siege tanks, now that they're in that unsiege mode, able to attack fairly quickly, 1.04 per second, and that attack rate is significantly faster than a stalker, and because of that, those siege tanks doing 28 damage per attack will be able to destroy these stalkers so easily. So you can see these siege tanks out of siege mode, able to deal more damage than a siege tank in siege mode. Essentially in 3 units at a time, a siege tank in non-siege mode is able to deal 54 damage as opposed to 54 damage as opposed to 55. Actually, the siege tank does deal more damage in siege tank mode. That's a good thing to note. But the siege tanks also have a little bit more mobility, even though they have lesser range of 7. As these units continue to just push on out, continue to deal more damage. Now Reticulin could have been able to continue to warp in more units, but really having a fairly difficult time as more of these pylons are getting taken down. All of these buildings are just going to become unpowered, so unpowered warp gates are fairly useless as we're not able to bring in any additional reinforcements. Siege tanks now moving in. Siege tanks upgraded 1-0. Vikings not upgraded at all, going to be able to land. I called down a couple of mules as well, so you can see all of these. This whole entire army is completely healed up. NATkims forced to say GG along with Reticulin. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. brought to you by, or shoutcasted in sponsorship with LU Computers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.